In this presentation, we'll look at how to conjugate some other irregular verbs in the imperfect tense. And so let's get started. Our first verb is dar, to give, dar. It's nice here that in the imperfect tense, this verb is conjugated like a regular AR verb. So you're dropping the AR on the end of dar and adding the ava, avamos, or avon, right? So it's eu dava, você, ele, ela dava, nós dávamos, and vocês, eles, elas davam. So the sentences I give are eu geralmente dava permissão. I generally gave or used to give permission. Você sempre me dava abraço. You always gave me a hug. All right, you always gave. It was always, not a one-time thing. It was a customary thing. Okay, so you gave me or used to give me a hug. Você me dava. Nós dávamos muitos conselhos a eles. We gave them, or we gave a lot of advice to them. We used to give a lot of advice. Nós dávamos. And elas me davam uma carona no seu carro. They, the girls, because it's elas, gave me a ride in their car. Okay, elas davam. All right, next verb. Dizer, to say or to tell. This is also conjugated like a regular ER verb in the imperfect tense. All right, so eu dizia, drop the ER and add the following endings, right? Eu dizia, você, ele, ela dizia, nós dizíamos, and vocês, eles, elas diziam. The sentences are, eu dizia muito como criança. I said, or I used to say a lot as a child. Maybe I had a real big vocabulary for how young I was. Okay, I used to say a lot. Eu dizia. Ele dizia coisas estranhas. He said, or used to say, strange things. Nós dizíamos muito a respeito do Brasil. We said a lot with respect to Brazil. And vocês diziam muito durante a conversa. You guys said, or used to say a lot during the conversation. All right, so dizer. All right, next verb. Ir, to go, ir. And you'll notice here, all we're doing is we're literally dropping the IR, right, as if it's an IR verb. But it's the whole verb in this case, right? We're dropping the IR, the whole thing, and we're adding the regular ending for a regular IR verb in the imperfect tense. That's all we're doing. So it's real simple. So how to say to go in the imperfect tense, went or used to go, real simple. Eu ia. Você, ele, ela ia. Nós íamos, and vocês, eles, elas iam. And again, these are literally the endings that you would use for all ER, regular ER, and IR verbs in the imperfect tense. All right. So, eu ia ao cinema. I went to, or I used to go to, the movie theater. Eu ia. Você ia ao estádio com ele? Did you go or used to go to the stadium with him? Você ia. Nós íamos muito ao campo para jogar futebol. We went a lot to the field to play soccer. We used to go all the time to play soccer, right? Nós íamos. And eles iam para São Paulo durante o verão. They went to or used to go to São Paulo during the summer. So again, that's a real clear difference between, like, the preterite form of this would be eles foram para São Paulo durante o verão. They went to São Paulo for the summer, but just this summer, okay, or just last summer, it is when they went. But if I say eles iam para São Paulo, they used to go. It was customary, happened all the time. They used to go during the summer, okay? So that is the verb ir. All right, the verb ler, to read, also conjugated like a regular ER verb in the imperfect tense. So eu lia, você, ele, ela lia, nós líamos, and vocês, eles, elas, liam. Eu lia muitos livros sobre história da Inglaterra. I read many books about the history of England. Eu lia muitos livros sobre a história da Inglaterra. Você lia quando era criança? Did you read when you were a child? Você lia? Notice how I used era, which is also imperfect form of ser. Okay. Did you read when you used to be a child? Você lia? Nós líamos muito para a aula de inglês. We read a lot for English class. We used to read a lot for that class, right? Nós líamos. And eles liam artigos muito engraçados. They read or used to read really funny articles. Eles liam. So that is the verb to read. Next, the verb ouvir, to hear. Conjugated like a regular IR verb in the imperfect tense. Eu ouvia. Você, ele, ela ouvia. Nós ouvíamos. And vocês, eles, elas ouviam. Eu ouvia a voz da minha mãe. I heard or used to hear the voice of my mother. Ela ouvia o toque dos sinos. She heard or used to hear the ringing of the bells. It wasn't just a one-time thing. It happened often. She used to hear, all the time. Nós ouvíamos músicas famosas. We heard or used to hear famous songs. And eles ouviam o trovão durante as tempestades. They heard the thunder during the storms. Eles ouviam o trovão durante as tempestades. All right. So this is how you would conjugate the verb ouvir in the imperfect tense. And it's used to hear, heard all the time. It was, a normal thing to hear something. So that's when you would use this. And finally, pedir, to ask for. And this is also conjugated like a regular IR verb in the imperfect tense. So makes it nice. Eu pedia, drop the IR and add the new ending, right? Eu pedia. Você, ele, ela pedia. Nós pedíamos. And vocês, eles, elas pediam. I give the examples of eu pedia mais comida na missão. I asked for or used to ask for more food on my mission. All right. I was hungry. I used to ask for more food all the time. Eu pedia. Ele pedia casacos durante o inverno. He asked for coats during the winter. He used to ask for them all the time. He was cold. He used to ask for coats. Ele pedia. Nós pedíamos muitos favores deles. We asked them or used to ask them for a lot of favors. And vocês pediam brinquedos para o Natal. You guys asked for or used to ask for toys for Christmas. Vocês pediam. So again, these are just another handful of verbs, how to conjugate them in the imperfect tense. And practice them, use them, and get used to them. These are ones you would say and that you would hear a lot if you were speaking Portuguese all the time. So very useful. All right. Agora é a sua vez.